We got my good friend, longtime friend Ted. We go way back. Probably when I tell, or we go back until like eighth grade, right? Like eighth or ninth grade, something like that.
Freshman year, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
roughly,
freshman.
roughly.
Yeah, we know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we've known each other since probably we were 14 or 15, dude.
Yeah.
So we've tried to play music together, but we were too young and like we didn't have any organization with it. But Ted, you've been a vocalist in the scene for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
So
2 years.
yeah. So when did you first decide you wanted to be a vocalist?
Okay, so weird story. All right, remember the PlayStation Portable?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was this ATV game on it, and on it was Slipknot Duality.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so I listened to that song so many times. I think I damaged the disc. 'Cause I listened it to it so many times, and like when I got drawn to Slipknot and Corey Taylor's vocals, man, they just got it just like hypnotized me. That's when I decided to become a vocalist, and I was like probably 12 at the time, so I just trial and error became a vocalist, and then I joined KRANC, and then I joined, and then we released an album last summer. It's been 6 months, almost.
That's crazy, bro. Like, cause I can remember whenever we were kids, you were kind of on the edge about being a vocalist, and we were both going through like emotional stuff and mental health issues. So like, how do you balance, the whole mental health aspect of being a vocalist, like balancing being a vocalist in front of a big crowd versus having the mental health like issues that we all have. How do you handle mental health with being a frontman?
By being a frontman, because screaming is my therapy. Being a vocalist is my therapy. And then with my alter ego, he is pretty much like everything I hate about myself put into one character. So kind of like facing my fear, kind of facing him every time we had a show, or every time I get into that mode of being a vocalist, it kind of helps cope with it. She is just giving me a whole bunch of kisses.
Yeah, that's my dog. She does that,
but that's how I battle that, and being a front man is just therapy. That's all I could say. It's being therapy.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
It's therapeutic because I grew up with anger issues, and so many health issues, and so much stuff like that. It was just like, how do I cope with that? And I guess being in a band just kind of like helps me release all of that, with the passing of my friend and going through so many bumps in the road, heartbreak. 2 months into being KRANC, I had a really big breakup. I had almost a 2-year relationship go down. Yeah, it was out of the blue too, and the first messenger mask was this smiling ghoul mask.
Oh yeah,
so
I remember that.
So I was like, okay, if I don't want to smile, this mask will smile for me.
Yeah.
So that's how I did it, and that character was kind of put on a fast forward pace because of that heartbreak, and it was just like, how do I deal with this? Well, I'm gonna write more. I probably have enough lyrics for at least maybe 5 albums.
Whoa.
Yeah, I write constantly. I write these concepts, like, even if it's just one line, I write almost every day.
That's crazy, bro. I'm always recording too. Like, I'm always just coming up on the spot with songs, like on guitar, bass, drum loops, all that. Like, it's just constant. I feel like as a musician and even a frontman, you have to continuously perfect your craft by writing and continuing to write and record, write and record, write and record.
Right. And here's the thing about how KRANC works. I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight on how this works. Those guys never write around me. Never. They never write around me. They never, I might have an idea, but I never force that idea because the guys have been doing music longer than I have been alive.
Yeah, that's a crazy thought.
And so I always write around them because they all think differently, and so I was just like, I'm gonna be the last person to really just put input into it. Yeah. And whatever the music drives me to, that's the topic of it, and then just finding what concept fits. Of course, not every concept is word for word, but it's pretty much the same topic.
Yeah. So, what plans do you have in the future in terms of music, KRANC? Like what are we supposed to expect? For the next like 6 to 8 months out of you.
More shows. We actually have a show at Numbers on January 16th.
Ooh, I'll be there.
At Numbers Nightclub. And then I actually am throwing a show through my little deal called Gearhead Productions. It's the H-Town Spring Showdown. It's 7 bands one night at Acadia.
Ooh.
Yeah, it starts off with BC Bench, then it goes to Demonic Hen, then it goes into Constrictor, which is that black metal band. Then it goes into my boys from Lafayette, Louisiana, Follow the Mire. Then it goes into Serena Stella, then us, and then Exidium is the headliner. It is.
How did I not end up on this show? Like, how did I not end up on this show?
Because this is the first big show.
Yeah.
It's the first big show, so I wanted to get people that I know, and that I have seen live before.
Yeah.
So if you want to be on a Gearhead production show, I have to see you perform. That's the way I am, because I could be friends with someone who's been a musician their whole life, put them on a show, and their show is crappy. Not saying on you, but I'm saying hypothetically, so I have to see these bands perform, and I've seen all of these bands perform.
Yeah, these bands are a lot bigger than I am right now.
I mean, BC Bench. I mean, shout out to those chicks. It's 2 chicks.
It's 2 girls.
It's 2 girls. BC Bench is 2 girls. Demonic Hen. They're called Veggie Punk, and they're all dressed up as vegetables. You have eggplant. You have beetroot. You have asparagus. I mean, everyone is dressed up as a vegetable, and it's really cool. It's really fun.
I have to see that. Like, I actually have to see that. Like, I actually have to really see in 2022 we're dressing up as vegetables.
Yeah, but they've been doing that. That's their gimmick.
That's their thing.
That's their thing.
Okay.
That's their thing, and Constrictor is I call them like a black and thrash metal band. They're really good. Shout out to Blake Raven and Madman Alex, fucking Thornhill on that one.
Hey, I didn't know Thornhill was in a band.
Alex Thornhill?
Yeah, I didn't know Thornhill was in a band.
Yeah,
it's been years.
He's in Constrictor, and he's in a band called Introvoid. Which shout out to those guys. We're playing with those guys on the 16th.
Nice.
And then and Follow the Mire, KRANC. We played our first show in Louisiana last summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
What part of Louisiana?
Abbeville, which is 20 minutes away from Lafayette, I want to say.
Yeah, no, I'm from Opelousas, but yeah.
Probably 20 minutes. I want to say 15, 20 minutes from Lafayette.
Oh, okay.
It's like south of Lafayette.
Yeah. I've been able to pick up feed for cows, but.
And we played there. Follow the Mire, those guys are going to be on there. They're driving from Louisiana to be on this show. Serena Stella, they kind of remind me of Marilyn Manson a little bit. Not Marilyn Manson now, with the situation he's going through.
Right.
But Marilyn Manson, but they're going to more heavier stuff, which is great. I love seeing bands evolve. Then there's us, and then Houston Thrash's own Exidium is headlining the whole thing. But show is set. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:30. It's gonna be a long night because I got to be there the whole night.
Damn.
I got to be there the whole night, and because me being the promoter, I have to make sure everything goes smoothly, and it's just gonna be chaotic. But it's gonna be a good time. There's no pre-sale. There's no online tickets. I don't do that. Because these guys are dealing with a lot. They're dealing with 7 bands on one bill, and then it's gonna be chaotic. But it's gonna be a good time. You get you some punk, you got you some black metal, you got you some deathcore, you got some industrial, you got groove metalcore, which is us, and then you got thrash to end it all night, to end the night with that.
All right. Well, that was pretty insightful, so I want to thank you for coming out and being on it, bro.
No problem. Sorry, she was looking.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Once again, I'll post all the links in my bio, and keep it real.
Check out KRANC. on all streaming platforms. We have our album Psychosis out now.